For the countdown. Oh no, we're live. Ah. Hello, everybody. My name is Biggles Metz. This is the Biggles Breakdown, and I am joined with Dmajini. Dmajini, would you like to tell the people about yourself?
Yes, I am the Lord Commander of the Dark Council. You can find me on my channel, Dmajini. I do pop culture, some hip hop stuff, even though my channel was based on hip hop, but I really don't do so much of that anymore. Just because once COVID happened, I really couldn't do shows, so that is what it is. But I do pop culture. Maybe sometimes I dip my toe into, maybe some social political stuff, but mostly pop culture. But yeah, that's what I usually do. So yeah, and I have a Rumble now.
He has a Rumble now. Do you want to give that Rumble as well, and I can put that in there?
I mean, it's the same thing. It's Dmajini, Dmajini.
Okay, I'll put that in. So we're doing Rising of the Shield Hero, and I know when I asked you, I was like, I have a list of shows. Which one do you want? And had I not asked Wicked about Dragon Ball Z, I would have tried to get both you and Fatal on for Dragon Ball Z, because I know you guys love it. But
I'm actually, speaking of that, not to interrupt you, I'm literally, like, right before I came on, I'm on the very last episode of Dragon Ball. And this is my first time watching it because I started with Z, like most people.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I never really went back to watching. I was like, you know what? I really need to watch this. So it's good now that I've seen all the content. Like, cause you know what's going to happen because you watch Z. So you kind of like have like almost the Star Wars episode 4 versus the prequels type of deal going on.
Yeah.
So I knew what was going to happen. I just didn't see, I now have the context for what everything was down with.
Yeah, so I am rewatching Z, and there's a lot of episodes in the Saiyan saga that I'm just like, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I remember like a lot of the Namek arc because I've watched it so many times, like the Frieza arc and then the Cell arc. And then I don't really care much for Boo. The Boo arc, other than whatever, but yeah. So that's not what we're talking about. Well, I like the Vegeta sacrificing himself part, but other than that, I don't really like the Boo saga that much. But it does return Vegeta to greatness, so I do enjoy that. But let's talk about Rising of the Shield Hero. So it has 2 seasons. A lot of people say the second season isn't as good as the first.
I did not like, I'll be 100%. I didn't like the second season.
So I think it's because the villain sucks. Why do you think the second season isn't as good?
That would be the case, honestly, because like I said, with most stories, it's always your antagonist, which leads your protagonist to greatness. And if you have a lame duck villain, your protagonist, like who was the villain in it? Like this stupid dude with the freaking white, I don't remember his name.
Kaito, something like what is it? Let's see. I have the names on the other side. Kaio.
Yeah, Kaio, that's what it was.
And he's just lame as fuck. And he's just like, he's like, so he's the gamer that, like, when he explains himself, he was a gamer and he would just like manipulate other people. And that was how he played video games. And if he couldn't beat someone by manipulating them, he hated them. Yeah. So he was like awful.
I liked the first season because it kind of had that, it almost had that hero's journey vibe to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you see, like, the protagonist start out from crap and work his way up. I'm a big fan. Like I'm a sucker for the whole isekai type of deal. That's like my favorite genre. especially like the ones where like the protagonist sometimes somehow passes away and then gets resurrected. I always
Mhm.
like that because it almost gives you like that maybe that feeling. Maybe that's what's in store for us because we don't know what happens when
Mhm.
we die, right? So I would
Yeah.
I would I would like to think there's something after this. Maybe I'll get into a isekai harem.
Yeah, maybe that could be the dream, right? The dream. Uh, yeah, but the first season is basically the Me Too movement, right? Malty. I think you accidentally muted yourself. Yeah, I think you
What?
might have.
Really?
I hear you now,
No, I didn't touch
but
anything.
oh, because you were moving your mouth and no words were coming out. So,
Extremely
um,
honest. I think that's mine is her name. That's the one who kind of
uh,
framed him.
so it's Malty and Melty. Melty's the younger one. Malty's the older one. So it's like I think her actual name is like Mayo or something like that. But everything else like says Malty, and then they call her Malty a lot. So it is Malty Malremark, the Me Tooer, and
Yeah. Oh, they call. All right. Because it says mine or anything, but it is multi. Yeah. It's weird.
yeah.
Like I'm looking at. Cause I gotta remind myself these names. I watch so much anime. The names just.
Oh well, I'm awful at saying any names that are Japanese. So
Except
uh,
Goku.
yeah, I can say Goku. Well, isn't Goku technically like Chinese, right? Because Goku is Sun Wukong. So,
Yes.
and in like some of the actual translations, when it says Goku, it's Sun Wukong. So that's why it's Son Goku, Sun Wukong, because that's who he's based off of. And I think that's why there's like so many Super Saiyan transformations because Sun Wukong has 72 transformations.
Oh, he does.
So,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
So I think that's why he has.
Transformation?
Yeah. One's a tiger, one's a turtle, one's a. I don't. I forgot what the other one was that I
He
could
is the
name off
Monkey
the.
King, Dan Blackroy, the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, he walks around with the staff too, and he has the
Yeah.
flying nimbus, which is crazy because in Final Fantasy 14 you actually have a section like a dungeon where you kind of fight Sun Wuhan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So we have Me Too season 1.
Yes.
And it's like all of it is being manipulated by the Pope, right? The Pope of the Three Heroes Church. So apparently all the nations, like 4 of the nations get to summon the heroes, and Melremark summoned all 4 at once. So
yeah, and I was going to say that now for me, he was summoned to the wrong place because the place he was supposed to be summoned, he would have been revered because
with all the demi-humans.
Yeah, because he's the shield hero. And which, by the way, technically speaking, he's a tank. Like I don't see how they say the tank is bad. Like the tank is like when you're playing the MMO, your tank is like the leader of the freaking pack. If your tank is weak, your team is weak. So you're supposed to have the tank strong.
Yeah. So basically the way I look at the 3 other heroes are they're the DPS players that play and they run in the fire and die and then yell at the healer saying, "Why didn't you heal me?"
Yeah.
Or they'll yell at the tank, "Why didn't you hold aggro?" That's my opinion on like the 3 other heroes. Like I only really like one of them, and even him, he's kind of like a lower tier character compared to like all the other characters.
So, and that's the one thing. Now, I know we were talking about season 1, but that's the thing that kind of confused me. Because when we went to season 2, it became all this thing about the waves, which I don't even. Did they even mention waves in the first one?
Yeah. So the waves are the giant dimension portals that come up, and that's what they're summoned to fight. So in the first one, there's only 2 waves, and in the second wave, they're fighting glass. So that's when glass comes down and fights them. The first wave, they almost all die. Naofumi saves the town, and that's why people start liking him more. But back to like the first one, mainly being like the Me Too thing, the blacksmith was the first one to realize that Naofumi didn't do anything. And he was able to...
Was that Elhart? That's his name, right?
Elhart, yeah. Yeah, and he was going to punch him in the face, and then he realized that it wasn't true, and he could tell by his character. So I think that the blacksmith was probably one of the more important people early on in the story, and then in like season 2, he's in it for like a second.
Yeah, and the other thing too that I remember with this show that had a lot of controversy was the fact that everybody's making a big deal about the slaves. I'm like, bro, like, let's. The way they
fictional
did the
world.
slave, first off, it's a fictional world, and second off, it wasn't even like he was like, and let's be realistic. The thing people are up in arms about is that they try to equate everything to the previous 400 years, right? Granted, slavery was bad. Nobody liked slavery. And of course, what they did to black people, my ancestors, literally, my great grandmother was a slave, so I understand that. But the thing that made it bad for us, the fact that it was the brutality of it, and the fact that they kind of like made us not know anything about our history, right? But this was different. It wasn't even like it was like the point of the slavery was to build her power. It's basically like making them a team. So everybody's like, "Oh, you making her a slave?" Like that was a big dumb. Like it wasn't like he was abusing her. He wasn't taking advantage of her. I mean, she fell in love with him, yes, but that's because they were together. And of course, the one part that was a little crazy is the fact that she was younger and then she grew up. So whatever. That part was a little.
Well, now for me is not into the lollies, and he constantly says it. And Melty's actually 10, and like you don't know this, but like in one of the things in the manga, like because Malty fucked up, the queen was actually trying to get Melty to marry Naofumi because she's trying to make an alliance with the country that loves the shield hero. So he was like, no, she's like 10, go away.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, and that's the thing, because obviously we know now in modern times that's not a good thing, but listen, that's what people did back in the day.
Yeah, like
I mean, to be fair, 100%. My great grandmother on my father's side, she was married at 13, but that's the stuff they did back then. So I'm just saying, it's like
you also didn't live to be 100.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. So so I understand back in the day, that's what they did. So when people, that's the thing that gets me when they try to do a period piece or a piece based off of period pieces, people get all up in arms. But I'm like, you have to understand, we're not talking about right now. We're talking about what happened back in. I mean, perfect example. I dropped blank on the name. House of the Dragon. That was a big plot point in there too, because the king was, obviously, matter of fact, Alicent was only like 15 when he married her. So and then either before that they tried to marry off his cousin, and they did that. That part was weird too, like the whole family blended thing. But that's what they did.
Royalty did that a lot.
Yeah, they did a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's also happened on my dad's side, because my great grandfather was a duke, so I'm actually from royal blood. Cool. So that's kind of cool. But now I'm like, oh no, what if my parents were, or my great parents were siblings or something?
You figure like this, if you don't have any like weird abnormalities, you should probably be fine. You should be fine. But like even to this day, if you look over in the royal family now, they're like the tail end of that. Nowadays they don't do it. I don't think in like Kate and them or together, whatever. As far as family wise, especially with the whatever her name is. I drew a blank on the actress. No, I'm talking about the actual queen over there in London.
I don't know. I don't care about the royal family.
No, I know. I'm just trying to say in our time. I know they don't do that anymore, but even before that, I'm pretty sure that they were like first or second cousins and stuff like that. So yeah, but
I believe
that's the point. That's the point I was trying to make with that. But yeah, so that's the thing that I saw about the first season. That was the big thing. Because by the way, I had no intention on watching the show
Mhm.
until like that's my one thing. That's the one thing to get Dmajini to watch something. When you sit there and tell me don't watch it, be like, oh, this is bad, this is problematic. Then I have to watch it to see if it's actually problematic.
Mhm.
And that was the whole thing with the Shield Hero. It's like, oh, this thing is problematic. It's all about Me Too and the slavery thing and all this other stuff is so terrible. And I watched it like, this is basically milk toast. It really was.
Yeah.
It was basically it. To be fair, it was an isekai MMO to me. That's what when I watched
Yeah.
that, that's what it felt like. It just felt like an isekai MMO.
I think I was watching something on Hulu, and it was just like, this might be something you'd like to watch, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And then like the theme song came on, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, it's so upbeat. Parts of it is in English, parts of it is in Japanese. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what this means, but I like this part. And I just kind of was like, all right, I'll watch the next episode. This was kind of cool. I was like, he definitely got screwed over by that redhead chick, but let's see what happens. And then Brianna Knickerbocker is like one of my favorite voice actresses. That's the voice of Philo. So when I heard her voice,
so are you listening to dubbed or sub?
Dub, because I'm awful at reading.
Okay, because I have not heard the English version of it. I've been
okay. Yeah, I'll watch sub, and then I'll like if it's not out in Japanese yet, or not out in English yet, I'll watch the subbed. But
the only one that I can honestly say that I honestly really have no desire to watch in sub is Dragon Ball. Like, it's because I'm so used to used to Sean Shimon and all them. Even though everybody says that the Japanese is way better, and by the way, I know for a fact when we get the English translations, they are effing up the translations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for a fact, especially now we have like our sensibilities, our social statuses and stuff. Certain things, because over in Japan it's a different culture, so certain things they will do or say won't fly over here, so they'll change it. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, the funny thing is, I'm rewatching Dragon Ball, and all the stuff that they changed. Well, at least not like the words, but all the stuff like with the images and stuff. Like for Home for Infinite Losers, it actually says hell. So it's like
I remember that. Yeah,
they're finally giving us the cut or the non-edited version of it. So that's kind of cool. And then I was like, I don't remember them saying this at all. Like this, I was like, I've seen this episode so many times and I don't remember it. So I think maybe they are changing a little bit of it.
If you, I don't know if you can see it up there, but that 1, 2, 3 shelves is all Dragon Ball Z.
I think that's awesome. I have $5,000 worth of the Dragon Ball Super card game. Okay. And I have a $900 card by itself.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's Goku that is in Ultra Instinct.
Oh, okay.
So it's a $900 card. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, I have everything from. Well, to be fair, everything that's up there in my back shelf there is all VHS because that's when I started collecting them. I kept collecting them because each one has a picture on the side. Then the first section on the left is all of the Saiyan saga. Excuse me. It's everything up to Frieza, but it's in DVD version. So it's only it's real tiny. But everything else is all VHS. So I have everything from Trunks all the way to the end of GT in VHS. So it's just at this point I don't even watch it anymore. I don't have because I don't want to damage it because after a while VHSs get a lot of them like me. I watch them so much that the tape was messed up. So I try to avoid doing that now. Now you can find stuff online, so it's a little easier if you don't watch it. But I will say this: when we talk about the dub versus sub, I know this is like a big contention between the fans. The one thing I can't stand, especially in regards to Z, I don't like I said, I watched the Shield Hero in Japanese version. But the one thing I hated was the fact that they changed Gohan's voice. because Gohan sounded like in the tapes I have, he sounded like Goku. Like he made it sound like Goku when he was younger, which I was cool with that. And when they did the new like the Kai and the Z remastered, they changed the voice actors, and I hate it. Like I just thought it just sounds so weak. Like
I hate when they change voice actors. Like so. What I know this isn't Rising of the Shield Hero, but Kingdom. Have you seen Kingdom at all?
No. What is that one?
So Kingdom is about the one of the Chinese dynasties, and it's about this kid that wants to become the greatest general of all time. So him and his best friend, they have this plan, and they're going to go through, and then he meets the emperor or whatever, the person who's supposed to be emperor, and he becomes his sword. And it's his journey to become the greatest thing. And it's really good. It's got really good politics in it and stuff, like the politics of the dynasty and all that stuff. It's got great fights. It's got a kid that never gives up, kind of like Goku never gives up, other than against Cell, where he's like, "No, I give up. You're fine," and he gives him to Gohan to kick his ass. Right? That's the only time I've ever seen Goku give up, and that's because he's like, Gohan's going to whoop his ass.
That's actually a common trope within the shonen genre. Honestly, you always have that kid that doesn't really give up. Like that's a what's that one? Black Clover is a real
with Asta.
Like I can't. That's supposed to be coming back out soon too. I can't wait. Like I was behind on that, and the only reason they got me watching that was I saw it on Death Battle. Death Battle's like I'm like, this Black Clover thing looks pretty good. I might have to check this out. So but like I said, the dub versus sub thing is a big thing. But like I said, I don't know the voice actors you're saying. I might have to check it out in English. But
but Kingdom. I actually switched from dub to sub, and I watched season 3 and 4 in sub. And the reason why I did this, they changed every single voice actor. I mean, they changed studio of who was animating it because it's a whole different animation style, and I really like that animation that they have on season 3 and 4. But they changed the name, or the new voice actors say the name's different. And everything is different. So all the things that I thought I knew. So I just went back to sub and I read it. I read the whole thing rather than
you get the more honest translation. And even then with the localizations, what they call it, when they start subbing them, we're still at the mercy of whoever is translating it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And certain words don't translate from English to another language. You know, English, to be fair, a lot of people say English is one of the harder languages to learn, even though like my nieces have Japanese, and I really am trying my best to learn. That's one of the other reasons why I always listen to the sub version, because I can kind of like get, like, I'm not catching everything because like they go fast, especially when they're getting hype and talking. It's like so much, they're talking so fast. But like certain things, arigato, things like that. The easy thing that you hear repeatedly, that stuff you start learning. So and then obviously learning the accent to go with it too. That's hard too. So.
Yeah, I've been learning Japanese too. So arigato, the thank you. I think that's only used at like certain times of the day because it's also like. Nega esimasu or something like that. Something close to that is also thank you. And I've been watching Demon Slayer, and like in the beginning of the Swordsmith's Village arc, they were like nega esimasu, right? And then at the end they were like Doro magate. They were saying the other thank you, and I was like, like why do you have to have multiple words mean the same thing? But then again, we have multiple words that mean the same thing.
We got there and there.
Yeah. Fucking homophones and shit.
Anybody trying to learn English, you'd be like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. And no one knows which one to use. Like, you're just like, what the fuck? But yeah, so season 2 is not as good because it lacks a good villain. The Pope is actually a good villain. And he's only in like 4 episodes, I think, in the first season. I think more of the villains are like what is spear guy is what Philo calls him. The Moriaso.
He's the prince. He's the prince, right?
No, the spear guy comes from another thing, but the princess wants him. Wait
wait a minute. I'm confusing.
That's Lark. Lark is one of the vassal. Young Lord, and they just go back and forth. Hey, kiddo. Hey, young Lord. Stop it, kiddo. That's hilarious. Lark's one of my favorite characters in the show. Is there anything else you want to say about the show itself before we can go into the tier list? Now, I didn't make the tier list. I just pulled one off on Tier Maker because, like I said, my computer's been broken, so I had to make it by myself, or I didn't have time to make it by myself like I usually do. So I just have this one that's going to have to fill in.
So I will say this about the show. Like I said, we've got season 1 and season 2. I'm just hoping with season 3. I like I said, I'm a huge fan of the isekai MMO style type of anime. I wanted to get back to that. You know, I know sometimes it can be a little cheesy when you have your main protagonist a little overpowered. I'm cool with that because what you're supposed to do, because in almost every manga or anime, your main protagonist is usually overpowered in some respect. They usually are. That's just the nature of the beast. And what the way you do a good story, which is what annoys me, and I know I want to go on a tangent real quick, but I just sidestep a little bit.
Oh no, go for it.
What annoys me is how they handle Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker is supposed to be overpowered. You're supposed to be able to write somebody overpowered in a story. And you know how you do that? You make reasons for them to not be there. That's how you do it. Either they're out on a sabbatical, or like in Goku's case, he's somewhere training, or he gets killed.
Yeah.
Or like in Rise, even in Rising of the Shield Hero, they got separated, right? So either way, you can make it. You can write a story if your main protagonist is overpowered, you can tell that story. You just got to know how to write the story properly, right? So I'm a fan of that when the main protagonist is a little overpowered, right? So like one of my favorite ones is out now is The Eminence in Shadow, right? I love that because
I'm about to start watching that.
Listen, it throws you for a loop, especially when you watch that first episode.
Okay.
Totally, it's a complete sideswipe. Trust me, you're gonna love it.
Okay.
But I love stuff like that. So I just hope they go back to that style of storytelling where he is overpowered and kind of like dominates people and learns stuff too. Like I need him to learn more stuff, Because that's the thing. That's the other thing that they didn't do this very often in the second season is they didn't show him learning anything new. Like it was really about everybody else, which is cool. I get your side characters need to get some power too, but it's almost like they totally ignored the main character.
Well, I think a lot of people said in the manga that's like the worst part too. And that's why this season or season 2 was so much shorter than season 1, is they wanted to get through season 2 and then go into season 3 where it picks up again.
Gotcha.
So I have a question for you because
what you got?
Because there's actually something that I want to like shortly transition to. Would you want to see a show about any of the other heroes?
So the reason why I'm iffy on that is because they made them out to be pretty much dicks. So I'm not really, aside from the one that what's her name?
So there's Isaki, the bow guy, Ren, the sword guy, and Mariasu,
the guy. Yeah, Isaki. That's the guy. He's the one that the new slave. She took with the green hair. I'm trying to remember her name.
Risaka?
Yeah, she's in love with him. So he doesn't seem like such a bit of a douchebag. I think that might be him in the back on your picture right there.
Yeah, he's right here.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. So so he doesn't seem so bad. So if you were going to do a hero, maybe him. But everybody else was like they were their crap didn't stink. Like bro, y'all all got something at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. But it is what it is. So that in that respect, I'm iffy on that. And if they do another hero, it has to be done. What I would do if you're gonna do another hero, I wouldn't start with them there. I would almost do it as if a prequel. Show them in their world and show them being kind of vulnerable and show them why they would be a douchebag to Nafumi, right?
Mhm.
Show them why. Like, why would this person be like that in this world? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, maybe they got bullied when they were younger or whatever. You know, whatever the case may be. But you need to tell me why they were a douchebag to somebody who is basically in the same boat as them. Like, all of you got transferred to a world you don't know. You got imbued with powers you don't know about, and you got told you got to fight these things you don't know about. All of you. So why would you be a douchebag to somebody who's not necessarily, you know? And again, he's a tank. Like, I understand, like, how you're hating on the tank. Like, bro, I'm like, yo, you the tank? Come on, my man. We need you to be on the team.
Like I said, they're the players in the MMO that stand in the fire and blame the healer. Yeah. But the reason why I asked you this is I was looking for the mangas because I kind of really wanted to buy the mangas for this because I do really like the series. And I came across it was the reprise of the Spear Hero. Now, what it says based on the little description that I wrote is Moriyasu dies, right? And he gets basically he goes back to his original save. So it's the first day that he comes back, and he's like, I can't be a douchebag anymore. So he becomes like not a douchebag in this, and then there's like 4 books so far, but I haven't read any of it. But I just saw it, and I thought, I wonder, like, if, because before that I was thinking, I wonder if it would. I was like, it would be really cool to know about like the sword hero's journey, like Ren, because I kind of like Ren. I kind of like him as a character, and he's one of the only people that believe Naofumi. But he's just like, he thought the evidence was too strong against him when she set him up in the beginning, so he kind of like whatever. But he's the one that Naofumi trusts when Malty is trying to kill Melty. To go look into things. So I kind of want to get that too to see what it is. Or I would be cool if the reprise of the Spear Hero becomes like a spin-off anime, because that would be cool. I would definitely watch that.
You know, it's crazy. It's funny. The Spear Hero, for me, like in Dragon Ball, in Final Fantasy 14, my main character is a dragoon, which is the Lancer. That's the spear, basically the Spear Hero. So that's why I always like the Spear Hero, because, well, not, I mean, as far as that game goes, they had the best. Like, all the moves the dragoon are all like stomp out moves. Like, all the moves are like jumping up and blowing stuff up. So it's like, I love that. But yeah, but that actually sounds pretty cool. I like that idea where like they die. So essentially what that's saying is if they die, they don't get returned to Earth or into their regular world. Then. So they still got to stay there until the job is done.
I guess so. Yeah. But it is a spinoff, and I don't think it's the same author. So I think it's the same artwork people, but I think it's a different author that probably asked for permission to do it. So, but let's jump into the tier list. Let's do the tier list, because tier lists are fun. And people love tier lists. So, like I said, I didn't have time to make this, so I just S rank, A rank, C rank, D rank, and F rank. Usually I put a limit of 3 people on S rank, but everybody complains that they're on the list, or when their favorite character is not one of the 3 people that made it on there. So we'll let you do as many as you want. And we'll start with Elhart.
Let me blow this up a little bit.
What are our thoughts on Elhart?
All right, which one's Elhart?
The blacksmith. Yeah,
blacksmith. I think I want to give him. I'm gonna give him an A rank. That's what I say. I give him A.
I agree 100%.
Because not only does he believe in now for me, he also is a good ally, and of course I always like blacksmith because they always build the weapons.
They
So
always build the cool shit. Yep.
yeah, like it's always good to have a good blacksmith on your team.
And he's like, "Oh, you're going to run me out of business." When he finds out that all he has to do is touch the shields, so he starts taking all his shields and stealing like all their things for him. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Ah!" And like the next day, he was like, "Here, I got this for you." Mm-hmm. All right, Philo, our little Philolian future queen,
transportation animal.
Yeah. My favorite voice actress.
Oh, that's the one of your favorite voice actresses, her?
Yeah. She's this big fat bird on the back of this thing. Oh shit, we forgot to do merch and manga because I only had one. I can go over that later. We'll do it right after this tier list. So what are your thoughts on Philo, the future queen of the Philolials? She also understands what mating is, unlike Raftalia. She's like, why do you want to mate with Master? I want to do it too. You're like, no, Philo. You're like 3 months old.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say C.
C?
Yeah.
Okay. I can. So Philo's not the best, but she's my favorite.
I mean, you don't have to go by me. You could put it in your own.
No. I kind of agree. I would say either end of A or start of C.
Because I realize you don't have a B rank. That's
weird. Well.
Usually S, A, B, C. No
B
rank either.
Well, there's some characters that are so fucking awful that I needed an F rank.
Yeah, so the reason I was going to say that because really she hasn't realized her full potential yet. While she does help him, her potential's not there yet. I mean, she has the potential, but her achieving that goal is not there yet. Mm-hmm. So, you figure on your team you're gonna have to have people who can help you. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, granted, she does help him do the transportation, but she's still not 100% yet.
She's just a little baby. I think it's been like a year since the show started, so she's like a year old, if that.
I can't even remember her origin story, honestly, but it's okay. It'll be like I'll tell you. I watch so much manga, everything. I mean, not manga. I mean, anime. It's like a blur to me. Like I'm like, I watch this. I will binge watch it all, and then I'm like, okay, I put it inside my memory. Then like every now and then I'll think about it. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. And then, oh, is there season 2? Okay, I'll go watch that then. Like for instance, what is the name of the other one? The other one is it's almost as bad as this one. Oh my god, what is
Raftalia?
No. It's a different anime altogether.
Oh
my god. Redo of Healer.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched that. That's fucked up.
That is the gangster version of Rising of the Shield Hero. Like you take Rising of the Shield Hero and put it on steroids. That's that one. That's that one.
Oh yeah, I know. So Lethal had that Star Wars girl on when that first came out, and they were talking about it. I was like, dude, there's no way I could watch this. I was like, that's too fucked up even for me.
Yeah, it is pretty bad, but it's.
And I even watched Goblin Slayer, where they raped.
Goblin Slayer is gangster.
Where they?
It's not supposed to be another season 2.
Season 2's coming out real soon, and so there's a game coming out for it too. So I'm super excited to get that.
Okay.
All
right, who's the next one we got there?
We got Glass. So Glass is the fan vassal hero from the other world. She comes in and basically kicks the shit out of the Cardinal heroes. And now Alphamy finally starts to beat her, but she still beats them. And she's like, oh, I got to leave. The time's up. And she had to go back to her world. She's best friends with a girl we don't have on here. she is a spirit person. So like all her energy doesn't replenish unless she has one of those potions. So she has to gain her energy back by sleeping and stuff. So like she also knows how to fight hand to hand. But when she has her spirit powers, she's probably the strongest out of all of them.
I want to say A rank for that, just because she has that weakness on her.
All right. Before or after the blacksmith?
I mean, does it really matter on that? When you put them on there?
I like to have them based on where
that's totally up to you at that point. It's your show. You can put them in whichever way you want.
I like Glass. I really do like Glass, but the blacksmith's one of my favorite characters, so I don't want to put her in front of him. All right. We got the first season villain, the king of manipulation himself, the Pope. I forgot his name. Pope asshole. What is his name? I just call him the Pope. Pope Biscus to Balmus. Yeah, fuck that. We're calling him Pope asshole. So Pope asshole has a weapon that works on, or that's basically all four of their weapons, and it takes his entire church to power his weapon. So he's just like, oh, well, let them die because it's for the church to kill the devil. They must do it, right? So he's like super into this religion that hates all the, that hates the shield hero who worships the other three heroes. When you first meet him, you think he's a good guy, but he's just a dick. I don't know if you should give him a high rank for being a very bad guy or a low rank for being a very bad guy. So as far as the villain goes, he's way better than the second season villain.
The second season villain is trash. I can't stand him.
Yeah,
honestly, even his artwork made me want to slap him.
I know. I wanted to like hold his head under the water till the bubbles stop, you know. And he's like what is he, a book vessel?
Yeah,
vessel. Who reads? Psh, nerd. No.
Speaking of reading, I got all these books, these comic books I just got. So you just keep coming. I got to start reading some of these books.
Nice.
I got Achromatic Chronicles Blue that just came in today, so I gotta start.
Mine hasn't got here yet. And Jay's like, well, check your email. And then I was like, oh, maybe this is it because I don't recognize the name. So maybe this is it with the tracking number. And I opened it and it was a stupid malware thing. So now I'm mad at Jay.
Oh my God.
So I got rid of it really quick because I have a whole bunch of stuff that can get rid of that. But I was like, damn it, Jay.
Yeah, so when I first saw the one that the email for it, I didn't know what it was too, but it was on my phone. So I was like, I could open it. Like my phone doesn't get. I mean, it's very hard for your phone to get like actual viruses anyway. But once I saw that it was, because I saw like the subtext and oh yeah, it's got to be for
Jay. Yeah.
So, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm torn on whether we make him high for being evil or low for being evil. You know what? I want to give him an A because he was an actual good villain. How about that?
All right, I'll put him there. Yeah, so basically being a complete asshole and pure evil doesn't make you an F rank. What makes you an F rank is lying about rape.
Yeah,
that makes you an F rank. Get in the bottom of the bed, Malty.
You skip everybody else. You skip everybody else. Like, yeah, we put her in an F rank.
Fuck you, Malty. Fuck you, Malty. So you like this hero. This is Isaki. He is the bow hero.
He's a decent guy. I'll put him C because we really haven't seen much of him other than like the quick backstories they were talking about with him. So we really don't know much about him. But I do like the fact that he's not a complete douchebag.
Mm-hmm. All right. And with his daughter... Oh, wait, hold on. He gets to go here, too, because the King Mellermark, the 23rd or whatever, is a douchebag. He basically disobeyed his wife, who is the boss bitch, as
The wife
kids
is one of
call
the
it.
purple hair, right? She's in the
Yeah,
purple
this
hair.
is the wife.
Yeah. And she actually is on now from the side, right?
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
is the true ruler, but he disobeyed his wife, and he had to pay the price for it by going in the F rank because he should have knew his place. And if it wasn't for Naofumi, he would have been beheaded. And he didn't have a good reason enough not to behead him, so he can go fucking be beheaded. Fuck him. So he can go in the F rank with his daughter. Now, we have Lark, who's one of my favorite characters in the entire show. He is it's like a sickle, I think. He's the sickle vassal here or vessel hero.
He's the Reaper.
Yeah. And he likes to call anyone he thinks younger than him kiddo. He's also the young lord who always gets caught, or apparently they always stick him with the bill, and he pays for everybody else's stuff because he is royalty. Mm-hmm. When you first meet him, he helps everybody out. He basically fucks up the wave boss with a single swing as Naofumi like distracts it to get it out of the water. And then he's like, sorry, kiddo, I got to fight you because I'm trying to save my world. And he gets yelled at in the second season for doing that. But what do we think of Lark, the young lord?
I like him. So I want to put that one in your hands. You can put that one in your hands. I like him too, but I'll let you do that one.
Well, when I look at all these other characters, there's maybe one or two better. So I'm giving him the S.
Okay.
I am giving him the S.
Ding, 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 ding. We have our first S.
We have our first S tier. Now,
I see that character. I'm trying to remember what he.
She's the shopkeeper, and I don't know why she's on here, but she
That's
helps.
The shopkeeper?
Yeah, she's one of the shopkeepers.
Like
because she sells like potions and stuff to Naofumi, and she helps him out a little bit. So we're just going to put her in D. There's not enough on her. I don't even know why she's on here. I wouldn't have put her on mine, but she helps out, so she's useful. Then we have Melty. We're on Melty.
So she's the one who was stuck inside the infinite cave.
No. That is someone else. This is the second princess, heir to the throne of Melomark.
Oh, okay.
The one who's in love.
Kind of draw her alike. She looks very similar to the other one.
Yeah, I think the other one has black hair.
Yeah, that's right. She does have black hair.
The only difference is black hair, and that one's 18 and Melty's 10. So
see, I didn't even know all that.
So Melty's extremely mature for a 10-year-old. She's much better at politics than her sister. She loves Philolials, which is why she gets along so well with Philo, and Philo's only one.
How was she? What?
She's 10.
No. I'm saying you said she was Philolio. How does she be that? Aren't they like magical beasts?
So she loves Philolials.
Oh, like, she loves them. Sorry.
Yeah. So she originally got separated from her party because she left to go play with the Philolials.
Okay.
Because she wanted to play with the Philolials, and then after helping out with something, Fitoria was like, "You can ask me for anything," and she's like, "I want to ride you because you're a giant Philolial." And she, so she loves Philolials. Her Netaloid, I think that's what they're called, actually comes with like a Philo. So it actually comes with Philolial Philo. She starts liking Naofumi as like every single female character in the show. Because it's obviously every anime I've ever watched.
Every anime always turns into
a harem.
Yeah, harem, correct. Yeah. Well, except for Dragon Ball. Even though technically, when Goku got older, all the chicks started liking him. From Dragon Ball, when he was a kid to when he like at the end of his, Dragon Ball, like Bulma started liking him, Launch was liking him, which
Chi-Chi
I hate
liked
that they
him.
kind of got rid of. Chi-Chi marries him, but I hate the fact that they kind of like got rid of Launch. Like you really don't see her.
He forgot about her.
Like I mean, bro, like Launch should have been like, if anything, because as you can see, like with all of the Z characters, even Chow Su technically has a wife in like in the movies and stuff like that. He has a wife.
Well,
So
she
my
liked
thing is
Tien Shinhan.
exactly they like each other. Like if you see in G, he does like her. So they could have easily just said that they have a kid in the future because all of them have kids. So you would have figured that they have kids to continue the next Z fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he forgot about her. The only other time you see her is in the Boo Saga, and she's in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I forgot whether she has blue hair or yellow hair.
I like Launch. She's a good character when you think about it. Like she really is.
Yeah.
But
So back to Melty.
I say Melty. From what you described her as, I would give her an A rank because of the fact that she knows the political dance, and she is smart. You know what I'm saying? That to me that's a lot more than necessarily having actual superpowers. It's the fact that you can do the political dance and know how to work around, the landscape. If she's as intelligent as you say she is, that's great. She's almost like a prodigy.
Yeah, kind of. Especially because she's only 10.
The one underneath her. I mean, that one. I don't remember that character.
Who, this one?
The one the one before. Now for me.
The Spear Hero?
Yeah.
You don't know who the Spear Hero is? This person?
I can't remember. I don't remember.
So the Spear Hero is the dick that was so pussy
that's
whipped.
the Spear Hero. Okay.
Yeah. He was so pussy whipped by her that he believed everything.
Because that drawing on it kind of throws me off. It's a little small. Because I'm on a laptop. It's not that big of a screen.
Oh, I can try to zoom in more for you if you want. How's that?
Okay, that's a lot better. Yeah.
Okay. So we have the Spear Hero. So where shall we put the Spear Hero?
D.
D? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
When you're so
I wouldn't put him as F because I don't think he's a conspirator, but he's dumb.
He's super dumb.
He's a douchebag.
He's just pussy whipped, and his whole party is women, so he believes anything they say. Because he's a tier 3 Pokimane simp. I believe it. Except instead of Pokimane, it's Malty.
What's funny? It's funny you say that. Like, I didn't even know who that person was up until maybe 3 years ago. I mean, I've been doing the YouTube thing for about 6 years. It's about midway through that I started finding out who she was, and I still don't really I'm like, I get it. You got your tier 3 simps and stuff like that. But I'm seeing some of her content, what are you doing that's so special? I mean, she's cute. I give her that, but what are you doing that's special?
I don't know.
I
don't know. All right, the Shield Hero.
Oh boy. So I mean, would it be bad to put him in an S rank because
no, man. That's who I was going to. That's the only other character I would put up there.
He is the protagonist, and the protagonist is supposed to be overpowered. So, yeah, S rank it is. I'm going with the S rank with that.
Before or after the Young Lord?
That's them two like the Goku Vegeta in this.
Yeah. So who would be the Goku and who would be the Vegeta? Because whoever's the Vegeta gets to be first. Because fuck you, Goku. It's all about the prince.
I guess the prince.
All right. All right.
You can actually small that down a little bit, so you gotta go up. Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay.
Perfect. That's perfect.
The Queen of Melremark.
Okay. I think she should be A rank. Just because she's a good support. She's a good supporting character.
Before or after her daughter?
She got to be before the daughter.
Okay.
She got to be before the daughter.
All right. So the next one is Fitoria, the Filolial Queen.
She's the current Filolial Queen, right?
Correct. And she told Naofumi, you guys better get your shit together or I'm killing all you motherfuckers. So she's pretty badass. Mm-hmm. And she basically saves them. She's the the Deus Ex Machina
Yeah,
of the Shield hero. She just comes in and saves the day.
I say A rank. Yeah, she's basically like she's like your summon.
Yeah,
She's like a summon. Yeah, it's basically is like a summon. Summon Bahamut.
We have Raftalia,
Yeah,
the waifu
the waifu
of everyone. Yeah,
The waifu of the show.
starts little and then goes bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And
she kind of has like the cat chick thing, like that's like the hottest species in Final Fantasy, the cat chicks.
the cat chicks.
Yeah, the cat
She
chicks.
is
She's a puppy chick.
she's a raccoon. She's a raccoon.
Oh, she's a raccoon. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. A raccoon.
Yeah, she's a raccoon.
I'm gonna give her. I mean, she's A because she actually is now. She's actually a hero. She's a sword hero now.
She is the katana vassal wielder. That is correct. Ooh, Westward says we should put her as S rank. She could
Raftalia.
I mean, I don't see anybody else who would be S rank.
I mean, to be fair, she could be. I think she could be S rank.
And hey, that fits my 3 S ranks. So we did it. We did it. See, I like you, Dmajini. You know why? Because everybody else is like, I want everybody in S rank. Everybody is an S rank character. And that's why I was like, no, you get like 3. Otherwise, they're like a tier below because they're not as good. Mm-hmm. So we have our 3 S ranks. There we go. All right.
So
let's
go to the slave master owner guy.
All right,
I'll make him a D.
A D. Why is he a D?
Because first off, he deals in crappy stuff, right? He is kind of shady, even though like I wouldn't put him totally useless as like an F rank, but he technically is useless when you think about it because all he does is deal in people, well, persons. So what is he bringing to the table other than which is something that
he gets them some weapons when no one will buy him stuff.
Yeah. So
and then he's useless after what? Episode 5?
Yeah.
So yeah, D rank works. Yeah. So are we going to start from the back then now and do Therese? I think that's how you say her name.
Why I'm trying to remember who she.
She's one of the vassal wielders from the other world. She's a jewel person. She's pretty strong. When she first meets Naofumi, she asked him to make this gem. She gives him way more money than she gives him all the money that she has and was like, I will give you way more money for this. And he's like, okay. So she's actually pretty cool as a character.
That's a tough one. She's only in season 1 though, right? I haven't seen her since that.
She's in maybe 5 episodes of season 2 and 4 episodes of season 1. I don't think she's as good as Glass.
No. I'll say C. I'll say C.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we have Vrecia. She's in love with Ikasi? Yeah, close enough, right? She's very shy. She's kind of like I knew the name of the person I was going to compare her to. Oh, she's very much like Gray from Black Clover, but she's not as annoying as Gray from Black Clover.
She has power, right? But she doesn't really know, and she doesn't really know how to wield it properly because of the fact that she doubts herself. I'll say C rank. I'll give her a C because she does have power, and I think she's behind. She got to be behind the
bow.
The bow, yeah, she has. She's not. She's nowhere near past her.
Well, I think she would rather be in front of the shield hero or the bow hero.
Or behind, depending on her style.
I mean, I could see the bow hero letting her be behind him. No, I would definitely say that about the spear hero, but not the bow hero.
Yeah.
All right, so we have my favorite cardinal hero now, the sword hero. This is Ren Amakia, I think. Ren Amaki. And it kind of reminds me of Ren Amamiya from Persona 5, like name-wise. So that was the first thing that popped into my head is Joker when I did this. But he's more of the stoic hero. He didn't realize that leaving a dragon's rotting corpse would fuck up that village.
Yes.
Naofumi seems to trust him more than any of the other heroes. He catches on to stuff faster than the other heroes as well. And that's all I got to say about him.
I'm going to say A, Ryan.
A?
What do you think?
I can give that to him. I would put him right before the Pope, behind the blacksmith. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's kind of cool. What are your thoughts about him besides him being just A rank?
So like you say, like with him, like to me, his like the standout situation was like what you said when he left that damn dragon rot. It's just that you say he does catch on, but that was like something that he was a little slow on too. Like he's like he has faults. You know, he's not like just like smart just to be smart all the time. Which that would give him a little flaw, which is good. That's good for a character, you know. So I will say, like I mentioned before, like I do like my characters to be overpowered, but I don't like them to be Sues.
Well, he gets his ass kicked a lot.
I don't like them to be Garys or Marys. Okay, I don't like Garys or Mary Sues. As long as they're not that, and they can be overpowered, not being Gary or Mary. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing that he has flaws like that. So that's why I'll give him that. I like that.
All right.
This is a solid list. I think solid list.
Yeah, I think so. I like it. I mean, I'm a little. I feel like Philo got a little taken advantage of her range.
Would you put her in A?
I would put her in A.
You put her in A then.
I would put her right behind Melty. But these two, fuck you guys. You guys stay in your F rank. But other than that, this is what I would like. Right. I love Philo. Philo is one of my favorites. And it's mainly because her voice actress is I literally bought a game just because she's a voice in the game. So it's her and then Max, the voice of Ryuji in Persona 5. I heard both their voices and I was like, I got to buy this game. And I don't play dating sims, so I bought a dating sim because it has both of those voice actors.
Oh my god!
But there is some combat in it, but most of the time it's like quick time events. So I'm like, But it has two voice actors that I like, so whatever. $30 is $30. But usually we end it here, and we usually go for about an hour unless the tier list takes too long. But I did forget to do merch and manga, which is one of my favorite parts of this, because usually I have a shit ton of manga or a shit ton of merch for it. But all I have is this Netaloid, I think that's what it's called, Netaroid of Malti. I haven't taken it out of the box, but it has like different.
It's going to keep its value.
But it has. I might buy a second one so I can take this out. It has multiple heads. So, like, I can change her expression. It comes with a Philo because I tried to buy the Philo one, but it's sold out, and like you can only find it for like $300, and I'm not paying
$300. Oh my god!
Yeah, so I'm not paying $300 for.
I wouldn't either.
I spent $30 on this, and
I don't have that many. I don't have any figures at all. The only figure I actually want to buy is maybe a 2B. Or Tifa for reasons.
Yeah, I get it.
By the way, I just seen this Brianna Knickerbocker. I see why you. I see.
Well,
I see you.
So I went to her behind the voice actress or whatever, and it like gets all the shows that she's in, right? So she's in like 43 shows, and
43.
yeah, she's the voice, and she's like in Demon Slayer. She's Kano. She's Kano's voice actor for the English version of Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh, she's in Zero too. Starting
Yeah,
from Zero. Genshin Impact.
She's in Seven Deadly Sins.
Okay. See, I wish I could do stuff like that, but you know, I see there's this girl on Instagram, and she's like, she does voice act. I don't know. It's weird because it's like she's saying she get into it or she into it. I'm not sure. But first off, she's a smoke show. That's number one. Number two, like she kills me. Like she's doing the Japanese stuff and she's learning the Japanese. But like some of the stuff like she can, like if it's like I guess like if it's mimicked or whatever, like she could like learn it. Like if it's like lines, she could probably say it. But learning the actual language, like she's like learning the language. That's the stuff I really need to learn. I want to learn Japanese.
Yeah, I have 10 audiobooks on how to learn Japanese on my phone. And then I have one that's like, learn Japanese while you sleep. That does not work. You do not learn it while you sleep. Okay, I played it 100 times while I sleep. I'm just
that reminds me of freaking Dexter's Laboratory. Remember when he fell asleep?
Yeah, and to learn French, and he can always say who cut the cheese. Fromage.
And all the girls is flipping out. He's like, say it to me again. He come real close to here. Don't see fromage.
Yeah, man, I remember that. But yeah, so like all these like. I watched Boy Meets World when I was younger, and there's that one where Jason, his friend Jason, tells Eric, trust me, if my mom can use this for weight loss, you can use this for ice skating. And he replaced like...
Shake weight?
No. Oh. It was like a little audio set for Weight Watchers or something. Okay. And he's like... He would be like, food has no power over me, because it was like a Weight Watchers tape on how to like lose weight in your sleep, and he was like, but he changed it for ice skate. It's like you can ice skate. Food has no power over you. And just like I've seen so many stuff where they're like, oh yeah, you learned it in your sleep, and I never like learned it.
I never even tried that. I never even tried it.
And then it's like, you can learn it in your car. And I'm like listening it to while I'm driving. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what he's saying.
Exactly.
Just going back over and repeating it over and over again. But that was the show. I really appreciate you being here, Dmajini.
Awesome, man. This is great.
If you want, we can go do some more like later on if you want to be a guest again.
No, I'll come do again. It's just my work schedule is the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, if we have to record, we can pre-record.
Gotcha.
We might have to pre-record on for whoever I have on the 28th of next month, because it is my dad's birthday, so I'll probably be doing something that day.
Gotcha.
So I might have someone, and we'll do like a premiere, and that might be I'll just be like on my phone in the chat, not even listening to it because I've already lived it, you know. Yeah. But there, I need to see who I can bring on for how a realistic what is it? How a realistic hero rebuilt the kingdom, because that's like one of my favorite animes because it talks about economics a lot, and I'm a big economics nerd.
What's the name of that? I might have to check that out.
It's called How a Realistic Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. It's got one season. Season 2 supposedly being made. I have the collector's edition that comes with like his little quills that he can write with when he's not in the room. I think it was Wes Ward that said he loves that show. So maybe I'll ask Wes if he wants to do that one with me. But I love that because it talks about a lot of a lot of economics, and I like my degrees in economics and stuff.
Funny enough, that was like when I graduated high school. That was my highest grade I ever got in my life was economics. Like it wasn't just the fact that I liked it. Like I had a really awesome teacher. Like he was freaking awesome. So that was like one of my favorite classes right before I graduated. The highest grade I ever got in my like career of schooling. It was economics.
Yeah, I really liked economics. I don't remember. So in my state, you have to take like a law class to graduate. I think because I transferred schools after my first thing, I didn't have to take the law class because the district that I ended up transferring into, you didn't need a law. But like the district I was in, you needed a law. So I transferred out and I didn't need law. So I was like, fuck yeah, I didn't want to take the law class. I got to take a second economics class and that was fun.
Yeah.
But
all right, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, you should check that one out because it's really cool. And he talks about like philosophy and stuff.
Oh, you wanna know what's actually a good one too before we get out of here? Is farming life in another world. It's the stupidest name, but it's actually pretty good.
I actually think the stupidest name is it wrong to try to pick up
Yes, that is a dumb name, but it's a good anime.
That's why they call it Dmajini. And August 28th, maybe like I know I'm supposed to do that or like I'm probably going to do that one pre-recorded because it's my dad's birthday. But I think August 28th, the mobile game comes out for that. So I might try to plan August 28th as that one. And I'll just like have the game playing in the background, maybe.
The game is coming out, which I'm not a fan of mobile games, but I'm slightly tempted to get this is because, I'm such a fan. Is the Ever Crisis for Final Fantasy. They're putting that on mobile. It's basically it's pretty much the HD remix of all of the old games on mobile. It's not like a remake, like how Final Fantasy VII Remake is a remake. This is like basically all the old games, but just like much better graphics. You know what I'm saying?
And playing on a phone. Well, I just got 1 through 6, the pixel versions. So I've been playing the pixel versions on PlayStation while my computer's been broken. So,
it sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sucks. Brother. All right. Thank you, everybody. Next week, I'm joined by Wicked Virtue as long as she still wants to be here. If not, I'll see if you or Fatal wants to come on and talk Dragon Ball. But next week, I'm talking Dragon Ball Z with Wicked Virtue unless she's not going to be able to make it. So I appreciate you all being here. We'll see you next time.
Peace
Bye.
Out.
And I'm going to don't click that button, Biggles. No, it's this button.